And welcome to Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdol, back in the home office. Here's the thing. Earlier on Monday, Car Con Carne back in the car. I was there with John San Juan of Hush Drops. We ate food at the Village Inn Pizzeria in Skokie, a lovely place. And moving forward, from this point forward, at least once a week, I'll be back in the car because it is Car Con Carne, and I'll be sitting with vaccinated guests as we eat delicious food all around the city and suburbs. That is the plan. So before I bring on tonight's guests who are waiting patiently in the wings, I just wanted to mention what has to be the most radio story in recent memory. Now, I left radio this summer. I changed careers, changed industries. What you're listening to, what you're watching right here, this is what radio is in 2021, in the 21st century. There are no playlists of high rotating record company priorities, like 20 songs on high rotation. Podcasts don't trade promotional appearances or performances for overnight payola spins. Podcasting rules. I've been doing this one for 683 episodes as of right now. But this radio story, it's the most radio story, I swear. So back in September 27th, 2021, Robert Feeder, the long-running Chicago media journalist, Sun-Times, Daily Herald, published the story with the headline, WTMX Morningstar Eric Ferguson sued for unwelcome sexual relationship. So a lot of us at that moment had the question running through our head, oh my God, what happens next to the mix, to WTMX? What's going to become of this radio station? Well, earlier today, WTMX, the Mix, won the National Association of Broadcasters' highest honor, Marconi Award for the Adult Contemporary Station of the Year, the AC Station of the Year, as awarded by the NAB. Congratulations, WTMX. I know people who work for the station. I realize they're left to carry the mess, but wow, the optics of this winner are they're tragically comic. So that aside, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you may notice I'm using a new microphone. This is very exciting. This is one of the biggest changes to happen to Car Con Carne in its near 8-year history. This is the MV7X podcast microphone from Shure. I'm loving it. I hope I sound good. I should probably ask my guests if I sound good, but they're going to lie. They're going to tell me I sound good no matter what, because they're kind, loving souls. Here it is. It is Miirrors joining me. It's 2 eyes, 2 R's. Miirrors joining me. You can see them tomorrow night. If you're watching this, listening to this on the 10th, on Wednesday the 10th, tomorrow night at the Hideout, they're on a bill with another spectacular local band, Moritat. Miirrors, nice to see you guys. All 5 of you have framed yourselves perfectly for the proceedings.
So good. You really do sound good.
Does the mic sound good?
It's the microphone.
Sounds awesome. It's incredible, man.
You're not just saying that, are you?
No way. No.
I do think it sounds better. It kind of knocks out all the external sound, just focuses on the voice. It's a really nice microphone for podcasting. Maybe not for vocals for a band, but for podcasting, this is dead on.
We could try.
Invite me to the studio.
The lovely people at Shure, aren't they just north of Skokie? Aren't they?
Yeah, they're right on Toohey Avenue. The big, gorgeous, windowed headquarters, right by the Walmart. Beautiful. And the train tracks. Yeah, no, I love Shure. Local, good point. Local business, love them. But that's all beside the point. The point is, you are Miirrors, and generally speaking, this band Miirrors is kind of mysterious, kind of hidden in the shadows. You don't really see Miirrors in the daylight. You don't see all their faces, but here you are, kind of shattering the illusion and blowing your cover a little bit.
I think a big part of that has been the fact that we were basically releasing things during pandemic and not able to play out and support the things that we're writing here. So we had to figure something else out,
Well, speaking of the pandemic, it seems like you've been incredibly productive over the past 18, 19 months. Well, let me take a step back.
Sure.
The band started a couple years ago, but Brian and Sean, you guys have known each other essentially forever, like since the beginning of the 2000s, right?
Yes.
20, 21 years, something like that.
All right, so how did you meet?
On an airplane.
Like an accidental brush with one another? Did you recognize each other?
Yeah, I think I was sitting, behind Sean, and I was super jazzed about Miirrors. I had just discovered Miirrors, and I was listening to them, and if I'm not mistaken, my Discman. And
Awesome.
I was
Of course you are.
my
Yeah.
Sony Discman. I was super jazzed about this band, and the plane was relatively empty. And there's this guy sitting in front of me who looks like he's probably a musician. So I tapped him on the shoulder and asked him if he'd heard of Sigur Rós, and then we became friends.
It was pretty quick.
That's amazing. I think the most impressive part is just how outgoing and social you are.
That's all on Brian. And surprisingly, I'm the one that's usually a little more outspoken. But the first thing that I ever heard his voice was, "Hey, listen to this," or "Hey, no, it was, hey man, listen to this." And then I heard about his band, so I went home. I think he was going to Atlanta or something, and I was going to Atlanta for something else for music. And I went home and checked him out, and found out he was in this band, and just became a fan, and we became friends.
Oh, I love how that works. Okay, so you are Brian and Sean, and the other three guys, we've got Patrick, Dimitri, and Andre all here. Nice to see you guys too. We're not ignoring you, I swear.
We're cool, man. We got you.
So let's go back to the productive pandemic, because you did do a slow drip of singles during the pandemic, excellent songs, but now you're ready. Like as we're heading into a new year, there's an album ready to go. Like you've got enough content to put something big and official out. What's the plan for that?
Will be called Motion Picture, and we'll be out in the spring. We'd like to play as many shows as we can around that time of release to support it. And that doesn't mean that they all take place in Chicago. But I think right now we want to finish preparing that. I think that we want to start just playing out, man. We've been waiting to play out for a long time. So we got to play a show last month at Chop Shop. Hideout tomorrow.
How did that feel? Because I was going to mention the Chop Shop show. I mean, because as you were sitting in quarantine writing songs, were you kind of wondering, well, will people be there for us when we come out of this? Will shit be the same? Were you wondering that?
It was really fun. I mean, the event was it was unconventional. It was a fundraiser, so it wasn't like it was advertised heavily for our fans. It was an opportunity. I look at it as an opportunity to play our music for strangers and to do kind of a warm up, like a full production rehearsal. You know, it was super fun. The crowd wasn't our crowd necessarily that showed up, but we made some fans, and I think that pretty much right off the bat, heads were turning, people were dancing. Oh, what's this? And that was really it put some gas in the tank for us, I think, on the stage. You know, it was inspiring. It was encouraging.
It's interesting. I went to my first packed club show since everything happened.
Where was
it? My Bottom Lounge.
Okay.
So I've been to other shows, but this was my first packed club show, and it was this past weekend, and it felt weird at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, this all is familiar. I get how to do this, but it feels weird. So I kind of clung to the back wall for a little bit by myself. But then about 30 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, I get this. This is what I do. This is how this all works. But there was that like brief moment of I need to reacclimate to this, even though chronologically it hadn't been that long. It just is this safe? Am I okay? Are we cool? Can I do this? Yes.
How many people behind you? Like, how many people?
I was holding up the wall. I was next to the. I was stage right by the soundboard and the wall.
Were there others joining you because they were feeling the same way?
There were a few couples actually.
Okay.
And I got to say that back corner wall of Bottom Lounge, not at all comfortable. There's a little ledge there. There's no way to like stand against it without the ledge pressing up against your back. You can't rest your elbow on it. I finally realized, well, this isn't comfortable, and I should be closer up. So that was what I did.
Good.
And the Bottom Lounge is weird. Not to go off too much of a tangent, but like the ladies' room is like right there, basically on the floor.
It's cavernous, but then it's
It's a weird layout.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a weird layout. It's not a weird layout. The Hideout, where you're going to play tomorrow night on the 11th. That band Moritat, they're awesome too.
They are.
Like this is a great bill.
Yeah, I love Venus and Khan and Corey, and I'm really excited to hear their new record. I'm gonna get together with Khan and listen to it. They write stuff that I haven't heard, and I think that's exciting.
The thing about tomorrow's show is later start, like 9:30. I feel like the entire world is already in holiday mode. Like, all right, we're back to staying up late on weeknights again. Who gives a shit? It's almost Thanksgiving. And if it's almost Thanksgiving, it's almost Christmas. Like everyone's just in that kind of mode. Like, let's go out and do
It's
stuff.
5 homes of Christmas lights tonight,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. They're out.
They're out. So that's happening at Hideout. Love the Hideout. A great venue to support. Love Tim and Katie. I love that room. It's such a wonderful spot. So you've got an album coming in spring. What's this about a film? You're doing a movie too, or what is this?
We filmed, I guess, a live performance of, I mean, probably half of our album
A little bit more than that.
at Narwhal, where we have been mixing our album with Brian Deck.
Then, all right. So Narwhal, for people who don't know, recording studio, Brian Deck, who's the stalwart presence in the Chicago music scene. I was just listening to Red Meat like 2 days ago. Love Brian Deck.
Me too.
So you filmed it in Narwhal.
Yeah, and we had a camera crew come and do a proper film, a proper, what was it, 3-camera?
4.
Four camera shot.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
It was super fun. We've added supplemental content. A few of the videographers came by our rehearsal spot and hung out for rehearsal, filmed some B-roll stuff. Yeah.
So what will that hit?
Tick all the boxes. You'll laugh, you'll cry.
So will that hit at the same time as the album in spring?
Yeah, I think the goal is to put out a couple singles beforehand of stuff that we've already put out in terms of sonically, but we want to have a visual to it.
Mm-hmm.
Working with the guys at Couchfire was a lot of fun. Nick Drew, Matt Harris, and Kevin. It's nice I met them through the guys at Rosebud at the label. Billy and Jason were running for a while, and through that, I sort of felt that they could work with what we wanted to do. We shot it in black and white. We had a lot of options. So I think it started out as documenting a set that was sort of taking the place of going to see a live show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bands were doing that though. They were doing that on this
sure.
format.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual tip jar. That's great. And people need to make money, but we wanted to have fun with it and make something a little bit more involved in that. And I think it wound up being a little bit more than just a performance. It wound up being like a small film of some sort. And a lot of that took shape as it was being made, which I think was kind of fun. We had the time to do it, obviously.
And see, this just makes sense to me because the songs I know from Miirrors sound visual. It's a weird thing to say, but there's a visual aspect to the soundscapes you create. So I think it only makes sense to expand what you're doing musically to visuals.
You want to see music.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this before too. I'm surprised coming out of the pandemic that there hasn't been a full-blown music video renaissance. As bands couldn't tour, as bands couldn't play, I'm surprised that more bands didn't grab a camera, grab their cell phone, and find out ways to express themselves that way.
A lot of them were your live streaming, like kind of how we are right now. A lot of people were live and playing for whoever would hop on their page and watch them because that was the only shows they could do safely.
Oh, right. And there's still so much of that. I was talking more like MTV, like
music videos.
Sure.
Actual like artistic video concepts.
I
do think that a lot of people during the pandemic, like if you look at stats, like 1 billion people started YouTube channels. And I think a lot of people, rather than making music videos, like a lot of people took that opportunity to learn how to use DSLRs and Final Cut and just started YouTube channels,
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. A lot of people started podcasts too.
Yeah, they did.
You know that the internet's littered
or
with
two of them.
podcasts.
Working on themselves.
They're just spending time on themselves, Patrick. Doing. No, that's a good point though, because I've wondered why no one, why MTV knows the criticism they get. People have T-shirts with jokes about MTV on them.
Mm-hmm.
They're memes. So why doesn't someone? It doesn't take a lot of money to do it. Why doesn't someone just switch the programming? No one gives a shit about Jersey Shore or reality television at that level anymore on MTV. They don't have huge ratings, but they still exist as a channel. MTV1, MTV2, MTV3, those are still out. So why don't they just?
I constantly come back to the idea or the topic of curation. It's really hard to find curators of music, even though ironically everything you could ever want is available in some way, shape, or form on the
And
internet.
everyone calls themselves a curator too, you know?
Right. It's so hard to identify 2 or 3 curators you can trust. I don't necessarily trust my Spotify algorithm when they bubble up stuff to me. There is something to be said for a more human touch, and like a video channel would be awesome. Like a live streaming 24/7, all music videos. I'm sold. I'm there. Instead of trying to find stuff on YouTube, tell me what I should be watching. Point me in the right direction. Do specialty shows.
Yeah, I missed that.
That's a good point. I wonder why there aren't more music videos. Maybe it's just because the Netflix series has taken the attention space of where music video of the space that music videos would fill.
Oh,
People
for
don't
sure.
have time, and they go
There are
home
too many
and-
platforms, way too many platforms right now. I mean, as it stands, I subscribe to HBO, Shudder, Netflix, Disney Plus,
Hulu.
only because I want to Hulu. I want to see Shang-Chi on Friday on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I mean,
Do you think this is what I've been thinking for a while? All these little places are starting their own apps and streaming services. I feel like it's all going to go back full circle. Someone's going to aggregate all of those again and then give them to you at a premium price. It's going to be like cable all
Like
over.
cable
It's
when
going to
it
be
came out.
cable all over again.
sure. Oh yeah, when I hear about new stuff coming to Peacock and Paramount Plus, I'm like, that's sweet, but I can't. I'm done. I'm tapped out. There's no more room for platforms. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Too much time.
Yeah.
Good luck with your new Star Trek series. I can't do it. Sorry.
You know what though? Like Rick and Morty is so great that it like commands a rabid fan base, right? And maybe people just aren't making interesting enough music videos to make you look.
Yeah.
Could be.
Concept and thing, yeah.
I mean, when I said I was surprised that more or that there wasn't a video renaissance during the pandemic, I also recognized the fact that the pandemic was paralytic to a lot of creatives. I mean, it was hard for a lot of people to
That's a good
think
point.
around it, and
Valid point.
they couldn't create. I mean, it was, for a lot of people, it was survival mode. Like, oh my God, I just need to make it through the day and not completely freak out and lose my shit. And I get that too. And a lot of creatives were hit by that and they couldn't think like that. But that said, I'm surprised there isn't more.
Also, TikTok.
Oh,
Fair. I mean, is that the answer? Is that the new video channel, basically?
Yes.
That's a great point.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. In fact, I think we're going to be on it.
You probably, I mean, you should, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's tough when you're a musician thinking of a digital strategy because you kind of want to be everywhere, but no artist is awesome on every platform. Like you kind of have to pick and choose where you're going to conquer and be great.
Sure.
Yeah, because some artists are fantastic on Twitter. Others don't even understand how to write in 240 characters or less.
Or spell.
Or spell. Oh, I think we learned during the pandemic as we all spent more time on our phones. There's a lot of really terrible spelling out in the universe. The thing that bums me out is how many memes are shared with incorrect spelling or bad grammar.
That's what makes it funny to me.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like,
I sometimes when they're ironic.
Makes it good.
I think it's on purpose.
Makes it good.
Like, stop passing this around. That you're not helping. You're not helping. It's bringing everything down. It's idiocracy. All right, Miirrors tomorrow night. If you're watching this or listening to this on the 10th of November, tomorrow night's the night. It is Miirrors. It is Moritat at the Hideout. Miirrors, as they are ready to put out new music that you can have and hold and stream early next year. You can watch them play. I think your band sounds awesome, and I feel like I know it's been a weird 2 years for you. I think things are going to really start falling into place for you guys. I love what you're doing.
I really hope so, and I look forward to sending you more music. Also, I want to make a point. Our friend Quinn Kirshner, who you may know, he's one of my favorite drummers in the city of Chicago and beyond. He is also going to be playing vinyl records before, in between, and after. So I think it's worth showing up because each time he spins, it's interesting. He doesn't just play records; he has a thing going on. That's pretty cool.
It's a show, start to finish. It is a show you're going to tomorrow at the Hideout.
sword swallowing, bearded woman,
Correct.
all of it.
Count me in.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream.
Say something. What's it?
Stay right there, Miirrors. I'm going to stop the stream, but thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.